Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip, and today I'm going to share with you guys some of the different ways you can use the Crypto.com DeFi app. This is a little tutorial for you guys, and in this video, I'm going to show you some of the DEXs, some of the dApps in the Crypto.com DeFi wallet, show you what the difference is between the Crypto.com chain, the Crypto.org chain, and the Cronos chain, and a little bit more on what's going on with Crypto.com and their DeFi wallet and why I am so excited for this as we go into the next bull market, guys. Get ready, guys. Smash your like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's hop right in. So right now, guys, first of all, note, the fourth biggest coin is Binance, which is a exchange competitor to Crypto.com. They have their own Binance Smart Chain, which has been very successful. Ethereum is obviously the largest chain. Binance is one of the second largest chains, actually next to Tron. And then Crypto.com, which recently rebranded to Cronos back in the previous bull cycle, actually is up there and has their own chain as well called the Cronos chain. But there are two chains. There is the Crypto.org chain, which is for one use case, and there is the Cronos, which is for another. Now let's take a peek at this a little bit. Like I said, Ethereum is number one, and it is slowly losing market share to the competitors, which is why it's going to be very interesting to watch how Cronos performs versus Binance versus Ethereum as we go into the next bull market. Right now, Cronos' market share is $318 million in total value locked up versus, for Binance as an example, about 10x more at $3.15 billion. So it's about a 10x for Cronos to catch up to Binance, but there are some very, very good things happening, which shows that maybe, that could be possible, especially in the gaming sector. A lot more projects are attracted to build games onto Cronos and Polygon than like Binance and Ethereum, which is very, very interesting. But let's take you through a little bit of a tutorial on the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. So what I did for you guys is I actually deposited $100 into the Crypto.com DeFi app on my desktop wallet. Most of the DeFi that I access for the Crypto.com DeFi wallet is on the iPhone. Actually, that's where I stake. That's where I do all my Crypto.com DeFi activities. But for the purpose of this video, I want to show you guys this because it does have very, very similar functionality. But let me show you a little bit. So first off, what I did is I went to the assets tab after logging in, and make sure you take your seed phrase, guys, and you save it in a safe, secure location. Then what I did though is I went to assets and I went to receive, and I wanted to receive the Cronos chain coins so that I could access the Cronos dApps and DEXs on the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. All I did is I took my iPhone and my Crypto.com DeFi wallet on my iPhone, or you could take the Crypto.com regular app, and I scanned this QR code and I transferred some funds, some Cronos on the Cronos chain over to this wallet for the purposes of this video. Just a little bit to show you guys how all this works. Now, you might be wondering, what's this Cronos bridge function? Well, in order to access the dApps on the Cronos platforms, you need to move over from the Crypto.org chain. So originally, guys, Crypto.com's Crocoin was a ERC20 token. Eventually, it became a Crypto.org chain token. And then Cronos was launched. And now, in order to use the DEXs and dApps built on Cronos, you need to have your Crocoins on the Cronos chain. So what you could do is you could transfer your funds directly from the Crypto.com main app over to the DeFi app and send them as Cronos coins if you want to interact with the dApps. But if you want to do the staking that's available here, this is everything that you need to do on the Crypto.org chain. So let me remind you guys, if you want to stake, you need to use the Crypto.org chain. If you want to use the DEXs and dApps, then you need to move your funds from the Crypto.org chain or the ERC20 chain, and you need to move it over to the Cronos chain. And I've already done that, so I'm not going to do that on this video, but it's a very, very low cost, and you could do it the other way. For example, if I want to flip my Cronos coins over to the Crypto.org chain, all I would do is essentially is this, and I'd say, okay, it's Crow, and I want to transfer it all, and I can move it over to the chain, and then I could stake with that. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you guys how to, I'll show you how to do both, actually. So first, I guess, let's start off with staking. Let's pretend I did have some Crypto.org chain Crow tokens that were sitting in my wallet right now, which I don't. All you basically got to do, guys, is you got to go over here, go to delegate funds, choose your validator. And what your validator is essentially the spot where you're going to pool your funds so you can verify all the transactions on the blockchain. These validators are the things that solve the blockchain for Cronos and for crypto.org. And if you want to stake your money in here, then you receive rewards as you're contributing to the work that comes to solving the transactions that are happening on the network. Some of the more popular ones that are out there are, one in particular is Jerry's Pool, which is the most popular. But this is in red. There's a cumulative shares for Jerry's Pool is 7.69%. Now, that is a risk to the Cronos and the crypto.org ecosystem because you don't want one validator having too much power over the entire network, because then you don't have the decentralization that you want. So if you're looking for new pools, Jerry's Pool is the most popular, but it is not to our best interest as a Cronos community to put our funds in this pool because its share is so big. So what you can do is you can look for other parts of the market, and you could look for other pools that you could put your funds into. And so you have so many different options to look at here, different commissions, different APYs. So choose what you want, but you can get a 10, 8, 12%. Well, I don't think you can get a 12% APY, but a 10% APY looks like something that's very achievable right now. Some are 9%, some are even 8%, it looks like. But there you go. You can get 10% APY on your Crow coins by staking on the crypto.org chain if that's something that you want to do. And you can just confirm your transactions right here. Very, very simple to do. I'm not going to do it on this video. But now let me show you guys a little bit more. So let's pretend you wanted to use the Cronos chain and some of the DEXs and dApps on the Cronos chain. Well, if you already transferred your crypto.org tokens or your ERC20 tokens over to the Cronos chain using the Cronos bridge, again, moving from the crypto.org network to the Cronos network, now when you're on the Cronos network, you can use the dApps in the DeFi Browser. Well, there are a couple that I want to take you through in particular. So first off, VVS Finance is the largest dApp on Cronos. And so I'll show you guys this one because I am familiar with it. Click on it. This is a warning saying they're not responsible because it's a DEX. So just click through the warning if you trust it. And now your wallet is linked directly to the VVS Finance platform. It automatically connects right here. You can see my wallet address over here for this crypto.com DeFi wallet. And there's a couple different things that you can do on here, guys. What are these DEXs? What are these DEPs? These are decentralized exchanges, or these are decentralized borrowing and lending protocols like Tectonic is. And then some of these are leverage trading platforms as well, like I believe it's called Fulcrum Finance on Cronos is another one. Well, with this, you can trade, which is simple, just like a Uniswap. If you use Uniswap, you can trade. It's a decentralized exchange. This is the most basic function that most DEXs offer, which is just the ability to trade one token for another. So you can go to the swap function, and you can see what kind of tokens you can swap. So, for example, in the Cronos chain, you would be able to exchange your Cronos tokens. This is having a problem loading for me right now, but there you go. So you can take your Crow coins and you could trade them for USDC, or I could trade them for example, let's say I wanted to buy some Tectonic tokens. Well, I could buy some Tonic tokens on here if I punch in the right code. Boom. Now I could get some Tonic tokens and I'd say, okay, I got 1,600 Cronos coins here. Let me buy, I'll spend 25% of my stack on it. All you do is press swap, and then it would ask you to confirm the swap. You click confirm, and then bada bing, bada boom, it would appear in your wallet. You actually might have to use your Google authentication code, which I'm sure you'll likely know how to use that if you're using the crypto.com app, but you'll get a little code on your Google Authenticator app. You'll approve the transaction, and then boom, all of a sudden you go back to your assets and your Cronos tokens would show up right over here in your balance. So that's one thing that you could do on VVS. That's probably one of the more popular functions. Another very popular function that you could do on VVS, and not going to go through every little detail on this, guys, but you can do these liquidity pools and these farms, which are very interesting. So how this works, guys, is you can actually put 2 equal parts of, let's say, Cronos coins and Ethereum, and you can stake these, and you can actually earn an APY on this, and an APY, guys, that's more favorable than staking on the crypto.org chain. But there is risk that comes with this, and that risk is called impermanent loss. Now, right now, on the Crypto.com app, DeFi app, through this DApp browser on the VVS platform, you can do a Crow to Ethereum pool, and you can stake, and you can get 5.22% APY with a risk of impermanent loss. You can get boosts. The way you get boosts is if you have a VVS miner mole, which is an NFT, you can actually boost the amount of APY you get on the VVS platform. The VVS miner mole is the NFT associated with the VVS platform. And so you can boost your rewards if you want to do that. There are some higher rewards on here, like as you see, say you want to have VVS and Crow, you can get 20% APY with a boost available of up to 61% by staking XVVS and staking NFTs, which is very, very interesting. The risk here though is, guys, let's say Crow coin goes up 100% and VVS goes up 0%. What happens, guys, is you will miss out and you will have impermanent loss, which is pretty difficult to explain. But essentially, if the value of one thing goes up in a way different than the other, you will have an imbalance of how much money is in each of those assets, and you will lose on the price opportunity, on the upward momentum. You will lose an opportunity cost of having had just held that token by being a part of this pool, because you'll have two parts of two tokens. In order to stake in a pool, you need, let's say, $100 worth of Crow and $100 worth of VVS, and then you would get these rewards. And really, the best time to be doing this, guys, is when the market is trading sideways. When the market's trading up and there's volatility, it's hard to say which project will outperform the other, and I don't like to use farming and stake in these pools when there's a lot of volatility in the market. So right now isn't a bad time to be doing this, but beware, because you can lose with the risk of impermanent loss by doing these pools. Now, there's other things you can do on here, guys, like provide liquidity. You can do flash LPs. You can do limit orders. You can even do perpetual contracts on here now, which is very, very interesting. So there's a lot of options, guys, but those are two of the main functions on here. And I recommend you guys just kind of get in here and explore around. As you can see, it's pretty easy to use overall, and there's a bunch of different ways you can get APY, but you have the risk. Do you want to hold the VVS tokens? Do you want to hold your funds in a liquidity pool and risk impermanent loss? That's up to you. My recommendation, guys, is liquidity pools are great when there's low volatility and the markets are flat. When there's high volatility, in my opinion, you're better off just holding the assets that you believe in, but let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments down below. So this is one of the more popular dApps. On top of that, Tectonic Finance, which is one of my more popular apps as well, is a great borrowing and lending protocol. And so you can actually go in here, guys. Your wallet gets connected, and what you can do is you can borrow against your Crow. You can borrow against your USDC. You can borrow against your DAI coins. You can borrow against your USDT. So you just take it in here, and then all of a sudden you can choose, well, what kind of APY do I want to get for borrowing? So let's say I want to supply a bunch of USDC tokens. I can actually earn 1.66% on my money by borrowing out my USDC. But if I want to actually borrow against it, if I want to borrow some from somebody instead of lending is what this is for. So if you want to supply it, you want to lend it, you get 1.6% APY. If you want to borrow, you'll get 0.11% APY on your USDC. And you can see different rates here, like VVS token, you get the best rates. You get 12% APY for supplying and lending out your VVS tokens, and for borrowing VVS tokens, you actually get 30%. But there is risk associated with this, guys. So please be careful, because you can get liquidated, and you don't want to over borrow just like anything else. So what you do is you would connect your wallet like this, and you would be able to then kind of borrow this. I'm not going to go through this and do one of these right now, but it's pretty simple to use, guys. I just don't really want to take you through a transaction right now, but it's very simple. All you kind of do is you go in here to the token that you want, you would connect your wallet, and then you would choose how much you want to supply, or after you supply, then you can borrow. So if you supply, then you could borrow against your supply, but in order to borrow, you need to supply your tokens first. And just like you saw on this menu, you can borrow or supply any of these tokens, XRP, Cronos. XRP is actually, very, very low APY. The best APY on here is VVS and Tectonic. It's interesting that VVS is actually giving more APY than Tectonic right now. That we'll see how that plays out, guys. We'll see how that changes over time. So there you go. You can swap, you can borrow, you can lend, you can do a variety of different things, and then you can even earn and stake. You can stake your Tectonic tokens in the vaults, which actually I've done on the crypto.com app. It really is all pretty straightforward, guys. You kind of just have to go in there and check it out for yourself. But if you do end up locking your funds into vaults and into liquidity pools, just know that it does take a while to pull it out. If you stake your money on the crypto.org chain and you want to get some APY there, then it takes 28 days until it's unbonded. It's called an unbonding period. You can't pull it out and you can't sell your Cronos for 28 days. Same thing for staking, depending on which staking you do for Tectonic, for example. If you lock it in the vaults there, it could be 90 days, it could be 180 days, it could be 4 years if you want to earn more APY, but now you have the risk of you have to hold that token. So there's a lot of creative things you can do. On top of that, guys, you can even get into the NFT piece of this, and so you can look at the NFT section, and I don't really have any transactions going on here right now, but you can send your NFTs to this wallet if you want, and you can even buy them if you go into the DeFi Browser. You can go into like Minted, for example, and you can start to shop on the Minted protocol. So as things advance and as Cronos gets more popular, this is where you're going to access the games that they're building on Cronos. This is where you're going to access the NFT platforms. This is where if they build an Uber of blockchain technology on Cronos where you can call a ride share through Cronos, this is the spot where it could potentially happen. Elon Musk is working on some of this as well. The big question in my mind is Elon Musk's user interface going to be better than a Crypto.com DeFi wallet, than a Binance chain, than some of the interfaces for Ethereum, or are they just going to integrate? It's very, very curious, but that's a little bit of a tutorial for you guys on the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. I am very bullish on this project, and I wanted to show you a little bit on it. Didn't go too in-depth, didn't really want to conduct any transactions here just for time's sake, and just kind of not get too into the weeds with you guys. But I hope that helped. Now, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. It is pretty straightforward to use. You just got to get in here yourself, click around. I wanted to explain to you guys the difference between the crypto.org chain and the Cronos chain. I hope that helped you out, and you can look into what some of these different projects are. There's a lot of great projects on here with a lot of great different functionalities. And I highly recommend you check it out for yourself, guys. That's all I got for you in this one. I'm Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, folks, you got to remember to DCA, HODL, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. I got 2 videos for you right here if you want to check them out. Peace.